What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, not only Not Your Status Quo featuring fatherly fandom, but tonight we're talking Invincible, we're talking the boys season premiere. We got tons to talk about. We've got news and notes from around the nerdverse, whatever we want to call it. But before we get into all of that fun and extravaganza, Doug, Chris, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, let me tell you, I am outstanding. Pretty chill weekend, laid back. Noticed that, it's finally sunny enough that I suppose I should probably cut the lawn before I get a fine or something.
Oh no.
I noticed that it was getting kind of long, save for, the patches that my dog so lovely created for me. But other than that, I was like, boy, all right. And then I noticed the neighbor, and I'm like, okay, now I'm being guilt-tripped into it. So I'm like, all right, get the mower out, put in the gas, make sure it starts, okay. And got the yard all nice and cleaned up. Looks good. Yeah. And now I'm excited because we get to finally talk about some good TV. Oh my gosh, we said it in our last stream, but we are eating so good anymore. My gosh. Oh, talked about two great shows on Friday, and now we get to talk about two more amazing shows. But obviously, before we get into that, Chris, how are you doing?
I am doing fantabulous, gentlemen. I just got back from our trip from Portland, so got all set up here, and somehow, miraculously, I was able to fit in all the shows that we're going to be talking about tonight. And because we got a 2-episode premiere on The Boys, plus another episode of Invincible. Didn't get to watch those with my family, most of my family. My wife likes The Boys, so we watched that together. So I had to fit them in, and I did it. I got it done. And nice. It's spring has sprung, Doug. I'm right there with you with the lawn. I already mowed it one time, but it already needs another cut. And I might not get fined, but I will get. Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get fined, but I will get guilt-tripped by the rest of the neighborhood.
I also,
if I don't get on it.
I discovered that when I was, I guess I must have been moving some stuff around from the side of the garage and forgot about it. But I had like this, we have this pool we put out for the dog and everything, just stay cool in the summer and everything. And I guess I must have like tossed it onto like where the grass is. And so I moved it out of the way so I could mow, and it's just like extra tall underneath where the pool was at. I'm like, okay.
Must have missed that a few times.
I'm going to have to empty the bag.
That's exactly, that was literally, I'm like, this is going to take more than one trip. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it does. So excited, guys. Very excited to talk about these episodes of amazing. It's Amazon Prime Day for us, because these are the Amazon Prime episodes that we're covering. Can't wait to talk to you about them. But first, Keith, how are you doing, good sir?
I am tremendous, gentlemen. I'm getting over a slight cold that I had at the end of the week. Going around. Slept till about 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Really helped.
Jealous.
Yes, I was out like a light. But
can't do that with a 1-year-old.
You can, but your significant other will be like, I'm exhausted. Yes.
Yeah.
But
if you want your marriage to last, you will get up.
I remember Sully was little, but he wasn't 1, but he might have been like 2 or 3 because it was before we moved into our new place. But I was sick, and I got home from work, and I had a cold, so I went to lay down for a little bit before dinner, and I'm the one who usually cooks. Nothing against my wife. I cook, she cleans. Ooh. It's much better that way for everybody involved. But nice. I went and laid down and ended up falling asleep for like 3 hours unintentionally.
Wow.
And they came in, and my wife's like, Sully thought you died. And I'm like,
oh, jeez.
I'm like, buddy, I'm alive. I'm just
I'm not that old, buddy.
It's like an old medieval. Well, the plague got him. Load him up with the rest of the bodies.
He's also the one every time I go out to pick up some takeout food or sodas or get something. I come back. He's like, I thought you went out for milk and cigarettes. I'm like,
What is he hoping for this?
Yeah.
Well, Keith, what are you doing to this kid?
No, I thought I was doing a pretty good job.
He seemed like a cool dad to me. Man, Sully.
When my sister was about like 5, she had made a comment kind of like that to my parents. She came home and she's upset, and my mom and dad are like, what's going on? Did you have a rough day at school? Yeah. Why? What's happening? Well, Ashley's parents are divorced and you're not. Like,
so we get 2 Christmases?
that was probably her logic. She
That's
gets
the
2
logic.
Christmases.
I know. And 2 rooms? Oh.
Right.
2 rooms you gotta clean.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, well,
supposedly.
teenagers, yeah.
Yeah, right?
And speaking of teenagers, let's talk Invincible Season 4, Episode 6, You Look Horrible.
Ooh.
Which is what I always hear anytime I show up. And no, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Same.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm here all week. Please try the fish. But
Oh, gee.
Or the lobster.
Yeah. Nice.
we had, I wonder if these, we had a little lobster talk in Invincible, and we also had a lobster weapon in Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
I was
Daredevil.
thinking that.
This has been a lobster-heavy week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Red Lobster is doing some guerrilla marketing or what's going on, but good job, because we're going out tomorrow
Maybe?
night. No, just kidding.
Oh, jeez.
Get some Cheddar Bay biscuits
That's
while
right.
you're there.
Hey, you know what?
didn't
Those
give
are
me that
good
time,
biscuits, though.
No, they're delicious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. All right.
Sir Sullivan.
Hey, Sullivan, do you want to go out to Red Lobster and get those biscuits? Okay, buddy,
Get them
let's not
Cheddar Bay
knock over
biscuits.
down my entire computer. Please don't eat the camera.
It looks good.
But the camera made him feel tingly.
Listen,
Oh.
yes,
oh.
we will buy an edible camera.
A little tingle inside.
I'm sure it exists.
Yeah.
I want to lick the dust off.
Okay, but getting back to Invincible, it's
No.
Yeah.
it's open war between the Coalition and the Viltrum Empire. Battle
Get
Beast,
right into it.
yeah, Battle Beast is back. And after burying Conquest, Nolan starts to bond with Oliver a little bit as he's training him.
Yeah.
Not at first, and I am glad that it wasn't as immediate as it was in the comic. This is,
Agreed.
again, another change that I am so happy that they made from the comic to the show. The fact that people are not letting Nolan off the hook. In the comic, it was almost like it was an afterthought. Oh, well, he's a superpowered being. He's going to, murder half the Earth. I mean, they all do that, but no. People are not letting Nolan off the hook. And not only does, Oliver let him know, hey, it's not cool that you're burying Conquest. People hate him almost as much as they hate you.
Yeah, I was like,
And it was like,
oh, I know, that was
dude.
such a good dig.
That was
Yeah.
the same as Art telling him, I only do it for heroes.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? I think Nolan needs to hear these harsh truths. He needs
He
people
does.
to tell him that you can't just, think that it's over and done with. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was, oh my gosh, was it? I'm trying to remember, keep straight if it was the show or the comics, but in one of, I think it might have been the comics, Oliver mentioned something about Thragg, how, everybody lives so short, so they get over things quicker. But that clearly hasn't,
yeah.
carried over to Oliver exactly, where, he's still hurt. Not only the fact that his hero, his idol, is seen this way, but he's hurt over the fact of what he overheard Nolan saying to Debbie.
About his Thraxan mom. Yeah. It's like he didn't really love her either. That was
Exactly.
beautiful. And
Yes.
I love that Nolan is eating his humble pie right now, because we
Yep.
even see in this episode how that affects him for the better. And we'll go over that later, but it's pretty amazing to see his character arc throughout this, even just this episode too. And I am starting to like Nolan a little bit more after this episode.
He's finally it's more of a true redemption, I think, because I'm kind of
Yeah.
with you there. It's where the more he grows and changes and learns from his mistakes,
Yeah.
I am still on the hate Nolan train as far as like not forgiving him, but I'm willing to understand that he is growing, and so that
Yeah.
is cool.
Well, and the thing
That is
too
cool.
that separates like Debbie never getting over him would be or letting him off the hook or forgiving him is understandable. It's like Oliver and him are going to war, and all of us have been
Yeah.
in the military. There's a different sort of camaraderie you get when you're going to battle with somebody or you're preparing to go to
100%.
battle with somebody. So seeing Oliver warming up to him as time goes on makes sense. They didn't rush it. It was kind of montagey, but it made
Yes.
sense. Mark is healing. It's going
Yeah.
to take a lot of time because of what we saw at the last episode that we won't talk about, but I still haven't had spaghetti since that episode. But yeah, it's nice to see. It's like, okay, he's finally eating with him, and he's like, even Nolan's being nice. He's like, oh, that was pretty good. Is there another? And Nolan gives him his, like, here you go.
Yeah.
He's almost finally becoming a father and understanding what it means to be a father with his two sons. And
So one more quick difference between the comic and the show. In the show, it's implied that Oliver doesn't want to accept food from Nolan as part of his, like, I'm still mad at you. In the
Yeah.
comic, it's literally just because he thinks it looks gross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has way more depth in the show.
Yeah,
Which again,
yeah.
like we've talked about before, the showrunners are doing a great job of taking
Yeah.
the source material and expanding upon it and making something better. At least
In
for
the
most
comic,
of the episodes.
Oliver isn't really mad at Nolan for anything in particular other than burying Conquest. That is pretty much it. And then he
That's
gets
it.
over it like that. And then him and Nolan are like just chilling the rest of it. I think it's only like 2 panels. And they don't even really go into detail about, hunting for food or, Oliver discussing anything with Nolan. That does not take place in the comic. So not only is this
Do they
good
go
growth for
fishing?
Nolan- No, they did
they go
not go
fishing
fishing
on
in
it?
the comic. Yeah.
Ah.
well,
So
you
not
gotta
only
look
is
at-
this growth for Nolan, but it's growth for Oliver too, because we're learning more about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, and Oliver even told him, "Hey, we can't kill the mom. Who's going to lay more eggs?" And he's
Exactly,
like,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Again,
smart.
not in the comic, and I'm so glad that they did that. Because yes, as you pointed out, now at one point they have to go and search for something else more nutritious for Mark because Nolan
Not enough
points out
protein.
he's not healing as quick as he should be. And if anyone knows anything about Viltrumite genetics and everything, clearly it's going to be Space Hitler over here. So
"Well, it's no Viltrumite because all the smart Viltrumites are dead."
yes, his strong Viltrumite blood isn't quite healing as quick as it should. That's a little weird.
But then
So
we
yeah, they
see-
have to go and get these eggs, and this is also I like how Oliver he uses logic to like say, hey, Dad, we really shouldn't kill her because we need more eggs. But I think part of it might also be similar to the whole lobster talk that he ends up having with his dad too. Like I don't know. I kind
I
of
could see
think
that.
maybe a part of it is like, oh, that's kind of a cute bug.
She's cute. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Let's keep her around.
She's got a junk in her thorax. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll still eat her babies, but
Right, yeah. no, I'll still eat her babies.
Well, they're not his yet.
Right,
No.
yeah, there you go.
yeah, there you go.
But
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought they were going to do Tech Jacket was going to be the love interest for Oliver, but guessing not.
Maybe not his type.
yeah.
Well, maybe not. Might have a different type.
And speaking of Tech Jacket, Alan and her are still with the Viltrumites, and they hear a communication sending them to fight
Love
the
that.
Coalition. So they decide to, when they get there, they're going to take off, head to the Coalition, and hopefully be able to get there safe and join the Coalition forces. And of course, they arrive and are still playing a video game. And they're like,
Yes.
"Oh, we almost got it. Just one more second." But it is really
That was
irresponsible,
so.
isn't it?
So we can finish this level. I loved how like they brought us into that scene. You think that they're overhearing the Viltrumites, but really they're just playing the video game.
Right.
It was brilliantly done. I love that. I love that whole gag. And
Yes.
there's just little tidbits like that in Invincible make me love this show all the more. It's just like that's perfect. Perfect little bit of humor in this crazy situation.
Yeah, because it definitely is crazy. They end up stopping, they end up making a run for it. And
Yeah.
Crad and Lucan are chasing after him. And Alan ends up, he can fly faster than Zoe. And he ends up coming back to take on the Viltrumites so she can go get to safety and slow him down. And he's getting beaten up, remembering it ain't so easy to fight a couple Viltrumites. He's been beaten like that before. And she comes back with Space Racer, whose weapon, good God, is that thing powerful.
So cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shoots right through Thragg and then shoots right through their cruiser. I was like, that's a little overpowered, but they're probably going to
Can we reverse engineer this weapon and hand it out to the rest of the army?
So they do cover that part in the comic, but they specify that only Space Racer can use the gun. So that's their way of in the comic limiting its overpoweredness, that literally only he can use it. I think if I remember right, it's been a minute, but I think it has something to do with like it requires like an extra amount of life force or whatever, and hence why they also show that Space Racer was still alive after like 100 years or whatever.
Man, that makes perfect sense. So yeah, I can definitely see that. I love the way that they animated it too, and I saw this video about how before the beam came, you could actually see it burning into the Viltrumite before it actually hit.
I didn't even notice that.
That made it look even more powerful, which was so cool. Such a cool little animation effect that they put in there for that. Yeah, it was very nice.
That is cool.
Like, this is awesome.
And because of all of the losses, Thragg decides to attack the Coalition directly.
Yeah.
And because they have a little mole inside of the Coalition, he lowers the defenses and they besiege the capital.
The thing is, it's like, even if you know it's coming, gosh, it's still like watching him actively, just with the touch of a dial, betray the entire coalition to the Viltrumites. It's like, oh, dude, I would want to shoot your head off too.
Yeah, it wasn't Talia like I thought, so I was wrong. Wow. Yes.
We're never wrong. You were misled. I blame
I was
the
misled.
animators.
The animators.
Good call.
Thaddeus, who, man, I would love to be that old. I am that old. Be able to rip my shirt off and be that ripped. But Thaddeus, Alan, and Tech Jacket, are kind of leading the fight, and they are losing. Viltrumites are just too strong, and they're going at it until a recovered Mark, Nolan, and Oliver show up to kind of save the day.
Finally. Yes.
Yeah, finally back.
Oh, and as soon as the Viltrumite ship started like shooting its beams down on what is the name of the planet again?
Tescaria? Talescria is what I heard.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So as soon as it started doing that, my first thought was, holy crap, it's just like Endgame. Like, I can imagine Thanos, rain of fire, but sir, our men, rain of fire.
Just do it!
Right. And I'm just like, oh man, they totally. And then I remember, oh wait, no, the comic came out in 2003. Endgame? You copycats.
But, they end up start beating the forces back. They end up taking, the cruiser out, pretty much breaking it in half. They're pretty powerful. And
excuse me, wasn't it Invincible and Oliver flew through the ship?
Yes.
Captain Marvel did that too.
Yes, she did. Yes,
She did?
She did that in Endgame.
Yeah.
Now, did they do that in the comic?
Maybe
too?
somebody was reading Invincible.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Endgame was stealing
Yeah,
from
they did in the comic
Invincible.
too. That's I noticed that. I'm like,
And it's funny because we'll talk about the boys later, but the boys kind of stealing the Scourge virus from Invincible too. Because I don't remember ever reading about a virus in the boys.
it wasn't in the comic
I
book
didn't
boys.
think
It wasn't in the comics. Oh. Yeah,
But
we'll
get
to
to
that. Pin in
that
that.
later. Yes. Put
Little tease for later in the episode, guys, so stick around.
foreshadowing. But the Viltrumites end up, hey, we need to retreat. We're getting beat here. It's not going our way. They take off, and all of the superpowers basically end up stopping the ships from crashing into the Earth, causing a cataclysmic event, and push it out. And then they decide to interrogate the mole. Who
I
they
like
find
how I like how when
Whoa,
Thragg finally
yeah.
decides that they need to take off, it's because he's about to lose his skull. That
Yeah, my precious skull.
what is he doing with that skull when the camera's not on him?
Oh yeah,
We don't want to know.
Mm, yeah.
yeah. That hole wasn't from when he died.
It's a family show, gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, that's well. Dave's
And then-
not here. We gotta keep the
Right,
Dave
yeah,
energy going.
we gotta keep the
in
Dave
this
spirit
episode.
alive.
That's true.
Yes,
and of
we
course,
do.
we didn't talk about where Dave is currently, and
Yeah.
we shouldn't spill the beans. But just so you know, he is writing a massive crossover event between Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Marvel, DC, Image, Dynamite
Oh.
comics. It's all going to be wrapped up in one. It is going to be the
Oh.
biggest event of all time. It's going to be a mass cinematic universe between all these properties. So he's taking his time to write it out, and we'll probably hear more about it our next stream on Thursday when we're talking Daredevil.
Woo!
You know, I did hear that it will somehow still have less characters than the upcoming Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. The two upcoming Doomsday and Secret Wars combined, it'll have less characters in those two movies.
I don't know how it could. There's only like 3 characters in those movies.
Yeah. Right.
But and I like this. You know, I didn't know. I don't know if this happened in the comics, but you know, they're like, "Why did you do this?" Because they're gonna win.
No, that was directly in the comic too.
And I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
wow, he didn't do it for money or anything like that. He was
No,
just
he was just
worried
afraid.
about these guys are too powerful, and no matter what we do, it's not going to be enough. And I want to live."
I think they explained this in one of the earlier episodes, but pretty much everybody that is a member of the Coalition were formerly under Viltrumite rule. So, in a sense, it does
Yeah.
kind of make sense why he's so afraid, because he already knows what the Viltrumites are capable of. He came from a world that was conquered by the Viltrumites. So, on one hand, I do kind of get it. But at the same time, he's also like in
Yeah.
the inner circle of all the discussions happening around them.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
should have heard by now how much weaker the Viltrumites are, how there's only about, 40 of them left.
Yeah.
So I still don't understand his decision beyond just pure emotion. Oh my God, I'm afraid. Maybe they'll give me maybe they'll let me go and I won't be a slave anymore or something.
Well, and it's
But how crazy was that watching it and like seeing like the other dude shoot him in the head, and you think
His own
that he's
brother.
down for the count? Yeah, his brother. And it's just like, oh well, I guess we're not going to get any information out of him. And then he just pops up and starts telling him why he did it. I was like, oh, his brain must be in a different part of his body, alien anatomy.
I thought the same thing.
But honestly,
Yeah.
Doug, I mean, the fact that he was under their rule and he's still, even after they kind of beat them back, just then, he's still like, they're still going to win. We
Yeah,
can't beat them.
he truly believes that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
But-
to backtrack a little bit, I loved Nolan during the fight. He was like, don't kill their soldiers. They're the ones that are occupied and
Yep.
under enslavement for the Viltrumites. So try not to kill them. And Nolan was the one making sense.
Yes.
And I was like,
And again, growth
love
for
that.
Nolan, not in the comics.
exactly. That's what made me like him a little bit more, was that scene right there. I
Yep.
was like, yep,
Yep.
thank you for that.
And this episode ends with Thaddeus saying, "We have to strike at Viltrum now." Before,
Yeah.
Thragg is going to call back all the reinforcements, all the Viltrumites out in the world. We need to hit them now before that happens.
Mhm.
And I was like, that might be the right choice, but wow, that's a suicide mission, basically.
Yeah.
So
Just like Infinity War.
Yeah.
my teeny tiny
Once again.
spoiler.
Okay.
It will be a good idea, but it won't at the same time. It's a double-edged sword, and I will leave it at that.
That makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
I'm
I'm-
intrigued.
And I'm hoping to see like next episode. I'm assuming next episode is almost going to be them preparing, calm before the storm. They're going to be getting ready, maybe getting things in place. Something I don't know. Like the war,
Oh, they
will-
might do that.
and then the war. They'll like arrive near the end.
The
and
last
battle will start.
episode will be the
Will be the
final
all-out
battle.
war. Yeah, because Mark is still injured. It's not like he's 100% yet. So, I mean, I wonder if anyone's going to call Thaddeus out a little bit and be like, "Are we ready for this? Is this really our best option right now?" We've been beating him back every
Yeah.
chance we get.
yeah. They're winning the war so far.
is getting them all together really that bad? Or
Mm-hmm.
Space Racer could go start taking them out?
Right.
Yeah, just send Space Racer out there with his gun.
There is
Handle the
not a
whole
lot
thing.
of them left, right? You can just like
Yeah.
snipe them one at a time.
48, 47, 46,
Right.
45.
But
It's easy, guys.
But after I watched that and I was thinking about it, do you think he wants to go to release the new Scourge virus?
No,
Like he is like
at least
I didn't get that impression.
no. I think both him and Nolan, I think a part of them are still going to, because like the comment that Nolan makes about Conquest when he's trying to explain to Oliver why he's burying him, and he's like, from his point of view, he's actually a kind of a hero. Yeah, he did, what any good Viltrumite should do. And Oliver's like, what the hell dude? No, everybody hates him. He's a terrorist. He
Yeah.
almost killed as many people as you did, and so. But I think even what's his name? Thrax? What's the leader of the coalition? What's his name again?
Thaddeus.
Oh,
Thaddeus, thank you.
yeah.
I think even Thaddeus, even though he
Optimus
originally
Prime.
created the Scourge virus, and he has said multiple times he wants to put an end to the Viltrum Empire. I think even he knows what a terrible thing the Scourge virus is. And that's why he said a couple of times it should only be a last resort. And so I think he's assuming, we're going to get them all in one spot and we can have like an actual regular war. I do not need to use this last resort.
Yeah.
Well, I assume they're going to come with all their ships. We're going to see a massive space battle going on. And then perhaps like just a small strike team, maybe like Mark, Nolan, Alan, Tech Jacket, maybe even Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Battle Beast, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Space.
Oh, it's got to be. You need Battle Beast.
Got to bring Battle Beast.
Because
in
he said, "You promised me greatness."
there. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about war?
How do you feel about going to the Viltrum planet? Yes!
Right.
But, and I assume Oliver's going to go, and I wonder how much. I don't know how
Damage?
much if his training has taught him to follow orders a little better, because he likes to go off and do his own things. He's a little
Yeah, he does.
He has a little higher value of himself than he probably should, where he's at emotionally,
Oh, yeah.
physically, and everything else. I worry about
Yeah.
Oliver. I think he is going to maybe break ranks, not follow orders, and maybe get cornered, and bad things happen to him. Because this is something like, this isn't just fighting, a villain on Earth, 2 against 1 or something like this. This is going to be a massive battle with, the strongest beings in the universe, lots of them, double digits at one time. So I was getting worried about Oliver, and I wonder if Thragg is going to. I'm hoping. I shouldn't say I wonder. I hope Thragg and Nolan go toe to toe. Just
Same.
so we can see how powerful Thragg actually is. Because they're going to show us why he is the leader of them. He's the strongest.
Oh, definitely.
And
definitely.
I am looking forward to that fight.
Because if that's one thing that we know about the Viltrum Empire and the Viltrumites, is that they see strength and power as above everything else. And I think in their society, the only one who could truly, be considered their leader is a Viltrumite that no one else could oppose. If any other Viltrumite were to try and take him on, they wouldn't be able to win. And I think that'd be the only one that they would allow to be their leader.
Yep.
Even if he does weird things with the skull.
Yes.
They may not know that. He does that in private.
That's a private thing.
They walk in on him. Oh, I see you're busy, sir. I'll come back later.
He does talk to the skull like he's in a relationship with it.
He
so
does.
I would not
It's
be
weird, man.
surprised. Speaking of Thragg, what do you guys think of Lee Pace voicing the character of Thragg so far?
I'm
the
cool
show.
with it. I like it.
It's
I think
fine.
he's doing a good job.
Fine. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I at
Nothing
times I'm
great.
just like, I'm kind of like, well, should Thragg deserve a little bit more of a menacing voice or presence? I don't know. I thought about that this last episode because this is the first episode we've really gotten with the voice acting. So
Well, like I told you guys, when I read the comics, I couldn't get the fact that he looked like Freddie Mercury out of my head. And so that's the voice that I always imagined him with. So that's why I said it's fine, but there's nothing unique
Freddie
about
Mercury.
this voice actor. There's nothing that really makes it stand out. Like
Want to
you've got
ride
Seth
my
Rogen voicing Alan. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the thing is, like, so many of the writers or so many of the people writing in that read the comic, commented on it. I'm not the only one
Yeah.
who thought that.
No.
Plenty of other readers
Yeah.
did too.
You
And
look
they
at
would
his
write it.
design and you get that. Yeah.
Exactly. And they would comment to the writers and the artists and everything of the Invincible comic and like, hey, so when are we going to be able to see more of Freddie Mercury, aka Thragg? And it's like they would say things like that. So I always envisioned that as his voice. And I figured they would actually take the opportunity to kind of lean into it a bit since they were already going to be making changes anyway, but they aren't. I guess they probably don't want to get sued because the current members of Queen are pretty litigious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they lost their most talented member, so now they're. But
Well,
pay
Sacha
the
Baron
bills.
Cohen was originally going to play Freddie Mercury in the biopic.
was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. He was originally going to play the
Huh.
role, and when he was helping draft the original script, and he wanted it as close to Freddie Mercury's actual life as possible, and the other band members of Queen were like, "Okay, we know that he did a bunch of drugs and had sex parties, but we don't want any of that in the movie. We want to pretend like that didn't happen."
Yeah.
And so he was asked to leave the project.
Oh,
And then they, of course, have to quote creative differences.
right.
We're not saying these didn't happen. We're just not going to show them in our movie.
Right.
Yeah. We're just
It's
gonna
a family
omit.
picture. Sorry, tangent time over.
Is that why that was such a terrible movie? Hot take.
But, and I want to get back because I don't trust Thaddeus 100% yet. I wonder, like I was sitting there, and once again, have not read the comics, so I don't know what happens. I'm thinking,
Same.
okay, does he want to take out the Viltrumites so he can rule the galaxy? Is he upset? Like, are we going to find out that Thragg beat him down for, like, leadership at one point, and he just wants to...
That'd be a twist.
Yeah, it could be a weird twist, and he's probably...
What a twist.
There will probably come a point in the next couple episodes that he is willing to sacrifice Mark, Oliver, Nolan, Alan, everybody to win. And I think they're going to maybe frown on that sort of a logic, even though in war that probably is, hey,
Yeah.
the right way to be. I just got a bad feeling. He's not going to be some pristine former Viltrumite
Yeah.
who just wants to do good for the universe.
It was interesting. Oh,
I
sorry.
semi agree with that because this version, the show version of him, is definitely more. He keeps preaching about how the Viltrum Empire needs to end, and he may end up, seeing Nolan, Oliver, and Mark as a part of that, even though they're on his side. He may say, he may have it in his Terminator 2 style. Okay, well, we finally got rid of all the Terminators. Oh, there's one left.
On the left.
Yeah. And he may end up turning on them. And the thing is, like, at this point, you can only use the comics a little bit because they really are not doing a one-for-one. There's a lot of changes that they're making. Every now and again, they'll have a panel that's like identical, and it's like, okay, you can see that this was in the comic, and then that's a one-for-one for the show. But there's a lot of like moving things around, jumbling things around, combining of stories, changing of characters that they're doing. Where what we see in the comics may not be how it plays out in the show. So yeah, they could end up completely changing his character from sort of we need to do this because it's the best for the galaxy to an extremist, we need to end all Viltrumites, and maybe I'm the only one who can potentially lead.
I'm the only Viltrumite you can trust.
Yeah. It could very well happen. Who knows? It is really hard to say like what direction they're going to take the characters in this show.
Right. And it was a very interesting conversation that Thaddeus had with Alan at the end, where like we won the battle and everything, and Alan was looking at all the destruction around the city.
Did
like,
we?
This was a win. Did we win? And he's like, yeah, you got to think of this, the war and everything. It's like, oh, okay. So those two different frames of mind and how Thaddeus actually thinks, you could see him strategically making the choices that would go against Mark, Nolan, and the rest of the team that we really care about.
And that was also a big change from the comics. Big, mine, I don't know. Depends on how you see it. In the comics, they don't have that discussion at all. In fact, the
Okay.
destruction of the planet isn't even referenced. Like nobody talks
Wow.
about the damage done to the planet or the people. Instead, in the next page, oh hey, the planet's already being rebuilt. Yeah, space technology or something. That's literally what they do in the comic, and it's like it's just a hand wave. It's no big deal.
Wow. Yeah, I
Because
like
I
this
think in the
much
comic
better.
it was just a set piece, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder
It's
if
usually the opposite when it comes to the comics and the shows and everything. So this
I
is
think
awesome.
the fact that, now that everything is animated, you're seeing the people move around and everything. I think that's what makes it a little bit harder to justify, oh yeah, everything just got rebuilt overnight because
Yeah.
now there's more life, quote unquote, in the background characters because you see them moving
Good
around, you
point.
see the interactions of everything. So I think that's why they had to make that change.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
here's a question that I thought of too that I don't know the answer
Okay.
to. I'm going to ask you, Doug, since you've read all the comics. I've only read about 8 of them. Does Thragg have any kids?
Does Thragg? Yes, he does.
Currently?
Um. Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember now. I know that he does, and some of the other Viltrumites do as well. And eventually, within the next couple of months, I don't know, the time starts to get a little loosey-goosey in the comics, but eventually
Yeah.
some of the other Viltrumites are also going to have other kids as well. Sorry
Yeah.
if that was a spoiler.
No, not why I asked. So
Hmm.
I was kind of curious because, obviously, if he finds out Nolan had such a powerful kid with a human, is he going
Yeah.
to try
Yeah.
to, have his own?
You know, yes, you've already got it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You're
I mean,
on the
Nolan
right
even
path.
said as much. He said that the other part of their mission was to find viable planet that they could reproduce with to rebuild the Viltrum Empire.
And this is part of the thing that I love, and kind of what we were talking about with, these quote unquote filler episodes. There are certain things that we have seen already that lead into different plots and storylines that explain some of that stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's brilliantly done. So, yeah,
On that note,
Except when Mark went to hell, because
Gonna
that
be
was
cool.
dumb.
we're forgetting that episode.
yeah.
But as long as we're talking about it, do you think we'll find out anything more about the Vial, Damien Darkblood this season? Do you think it'll be like a post-credit scene at the end of this season, like Damien Darkblood,
maybe.
like now I know what
Yeah.
Volcanica was after?
I think it was at the end of last season, or the one before, where they did sort of like a montage of all the stories that they hadn't quite wrapped up. I want to say
It was last season, I think.
Was it last
Yeah.
season? Yeah, and they showed like the Mole Man and all the other and they showed what's his name with the brain,
Oh, Angstrom.
Angstrom. Yeah, it showed Angstrom and everything. So yeah, they'll probably do the same thing because we don't know what's going on with the Mummy either.
Oh,
We
yeah.
haven't,
Still
so we got to see what's
roaming
going on
out
with
there.
them. We got to see Damien, got to see Volcanica, and we got to see what's going on with Dinosaurus.
Yep.
He's also
Yeah.
gotta deal with him. What about the lady from episode 2 who was stealing their
Oh
electricity?
yeah, Universa.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. She's locked up right now.
Uh-huh. For now.
For now. Yep.
Sorry.
No, that's good because it's good to keep track of all these subplots, so we're not surprised.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have.
And they
I
do
think
come
you're
back.
right. I think we're gonna see like a little montage at the end,
Yeah.
kind of
That'll
like,
be the
hey,
thing.
don't forget.
At the end of every season, they have a little montage of all the dangling subplots.
Like we didn't forget. We know
Uh-huh.
these are out there.
Oh,
It's
and
loose
what's
threads.
the mob guy too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we had that
Machine
whole episode.
Head,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that organization, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot.
Tons
we're
of
gonna get a
threads
lot
out
of
there.
good seasons, hopefully.
we
Mhm.
are.
They really do. They have so much more story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, should we rate this week's episode?
I think we should. And you know what? This is another outstanding episode. They did it again. I didn't think
Yeah.
it could be topped from last week's because last week's was so phenomenal. They did everything I could have
Yeah.
asked for in last week's episode, being where they showed us, they actually gave us a better version of Debbie's character. They gave us a good fight between the Viltrums and Nolan and the Coalition and everything. They gave us the ultimate rematch fight between Invincible and Conquest. And so I'm like, oh, there's no way that this episode can top it. In my opinion, I think it did just as good of a job. While this one is definitely more character-driven than action-driven, we did get a little bit of action at the end there, but this was definitely more character-driven. But in my opinion, it was so needed. Like I said, in the comic, this was like a panel and a half. They barely gave any time, and in fact, they're sort of leaning into a characterization that they gave Oliver in the comic. And so I don't know which direction they're really going to go in. I think I mentioned this to you guys before, but in the comics, Oliver does not consider himself human in any way. And he doesn't really have a relationship with the humans. So when he brings up in this episode the fact that he sort of outgrew his friends, and literally,
Yeah.
because he is growing
Literally,
faster than
yeah.
a normal human, it sort of implies that maybe he doesn't have as strong of a connection to Earthlings. And so I was wondering if they were going to do this. But yeah, the fact that we got this much needed character growth for Oliver, we got to learn so much more about what he's thinking, how he's feeling about lobsters and other bugs and everything. And we got to see Omni-Man basically have to earn Oliver's love and respect. And he had to, because he kept trying. He's like, oh, don't you want to eat? No, not if it's from you. Okay. Well, all right. Well,
Okay.
maybe we should train. And Oliver thinking, oh, I'm clearly better and stronger than you. And all right, fine, come at me. And him having to teach him and eventually, win him around. And they do begin to bond a little bit. Like I said, in the comic, it's immediate. They bury Conquest. Oliver's like, hey, Conquest sucks. Omni-Man's like, okay, cool, well, let's hang out. We'll be here for a month. Yeah, Dad, sure. So I'm
Whatever
glad
you
that
say, Pops.
yeah. So they touch on some much needed topics. The fact that, he said what he said about it, Andressa. They needed to address that, and I'm glad.
Yep.
I'm glad they didn't just let it slide. And
Never
so
shy away.
excellent episode. The only thing that I would possibly nick a point or a half a point off of for is that dang trick at the end of the episode where they made me think Conquest was still alive. I cannot believe it.
know.
I fell for it. I'm like, no.
Same. I was like,
Because, like I said, they are making a lot of changes from the comic to the show. And I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
are they gonna? They're
gonna be like a hand that comes up and
Yeah, I thought for
That's
sure
what I
that was
expected it to
gonna
be.
happen.
I expected to see like some shaking
We all did.
and then a fist pop to
Yeah.
the ground. Then when it didn't show it, I was like,
yeah.
And then the music just like cuts off, and I'm like, oh,
Yep.
you stinkers. Okay.
Yeah.
Doug, language.
Man. But excellent episode. I got to give this an easy 8.5 out of 10. It was so good. I can't wait for more.
I would just like to let you guys know that the Battle Beast is in the chat on YouTube. And
Oh,
he
really?
seeks worthy
Whoa.
opponents.
Nice.
Nice.
And he seeks the Grand Regent. Well, Battle Beast, we wish you luck in finding
Well.
him. Last we heard, he was on Viltrum.
You've got this, buddy.
Yeah. We love your exploits.
You know what?
The one thing we wish is
Can't
that
wait to
you
get
were in
your
the show.
spin-off show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we need. You know what? You deserve your own show, dude.
He has his own comic
100%.
now, so we need his
Yeah.
own show.
I mean, get Michael Dorn on the phone. Let's get this running.
Let's get a contract signed.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you know what? As soon as you find Grand Regent Thragg, you look at him and you say, I want to break free. And another one will bite the dust.
To break free.
He says, I'll talk to Kirkman about it. Yes, please
Okay,
do.
you
Please
do that, man.
We want-
Nice.
But yeah, this, once again, another very strong episode. They're doing so many things right. You know, Mark isn't rushed back to health super quick. They have time to build a relationship between Oliver and Nolan. It wasn't rushed. You see Oliver making some solid points and convincing Nolan that maybe his way of thinking isn't always the right way. It's not always punch first, ask questions later. And I think he has made an impact on Nolan, which was very nice to see. You know, we see the Viltrum Empire kind of falling a little bit. Space Racer takes one out pretty easily. They're almost kind of maybe starting to be a little fearful of this coalition, which I think Thragg wanting attack to home base was. But I mean, you just get so many good things. And this show did something that I didn't think they would do, and I still liked it. I thought for sure when the battle was going on, I was convinced that the coalition would lose. And Mark, Nolan, and Oliver would be too late. But they kind of pulled your typical kind of action scene. Oh, they showed up just in time to save the day. And it didn't bother me because I didn't expect them to do that because they break sort of norms on this. And them doing it made sense because of how it's going. At the end, we have got to go to Viltrum right now. This is our time to attack, and we got to do it. And I mean, as always, the action scenes were great. The animation is good enough that it doesn't bother me. You know, you can tell it's not fully on with the comics, but the music is good. The voice acting is incredible, and I'm going to give this an 8.8. I mean, this is building towards something. Woo! We did have that one side episode that I wasn't thrilled about. I don't think any of us were thrilled about, but they are back on track right now, and it is glorious to watch.
I got to say, Keith, to back up what you said about the animation, I watch a lot of crappy anime, so I think I'm fine with it. It's acceptable because I've seen worse.
And the Battle Beast is saying, I should have fought Conquest before that scrawny child could kill him.
I agree. Oh, man, that would be amazing. A Battle Beast Conquest showdown. Oh, that would be sick. Where were you during oh man, we needed you during when Conquest invaded Earth.
Yeah, he was trapped by the Viltrumites.
Trapped. Nobody traps Battle Beast.
Yeah, that's true.
I hear in Battle Beast comic he might be going up against Conquest at some point. So we might eventually see that, even though Conquest is gone in the current timeline.
Nice. Well, Battle Beast, I am curious. Did you watch this recent episode? And if so, what did you think of it? What did you rate it?
He said define trapped.
Define trapped. Exactly. That's right. Nothing traps the Battle Beast.
No, nothing does.
He wanted to be there. He was exactly where he wanted to be.
He knew there was worthy opponents on that ship that he could test himself against.
That's right.
Yeah, this was another stellar episode, guys. From start to finish, I love how they're able to defy my expectations about the timeline, too. Because I didn't expect to get most of the war in a montage in this episode, and they pulled it off brilliantly. I thought that was beautifully done. I liked the visuals, how they showed each and every one of the sectors with blue and red, and showing which ones are winning, which ones are losing. That whole strategy was beautifully done. I love the interactions with Nolan and Oliver. I thought there was a lot of character depth in this show. Like we said last week, we got a lot of good stuff with Debbie and Nolan. This week it's Oliver and Nolan. So we got that kind of resolution, that conflict, that talking it out. And guys, if you don't know, talking things out is good. We can actually talk things out and work things through. Just shutting up and ignoring things doesn't seem to work. So I love that. I love that we're getting that in these shows that we love so much. And I love the action in it. And the animation, I'm totally fine with the animation from this show. Never really had a problem with it. I've seen far worse animation in shows before. But the story, the characters, and where this is going, the music, everything about this show is stellar. So it can be forgiven that the animation is not as good as what we see in the comic. So that's totally fine with me. Another stellar episode. I'm going to give this one, let's see, an 8.7 out of 10. So I'm doing the decimals too. Okay. Fantastic episode. Can't wait to see the penultimate next week.
Battle Beast said the episode was glorious, which I believe translates to a 9.2 out of 10 on the Doug scale.
Now, Battle Beast, when you say it was glorious, would you say then that it was worthy of your viewing? It was an excellent episode. I kind of hope that we actually get. I know this might sound weird, but I kind of hope that the rest of the Viltrumite War is actually like a two-parter, so it gives it more time to breathe, more room to breathe, and we actually get
Yeah.
to see one-on-one, battles between some of the other Viltrums and between Mark and between Nolan, and maybe Nolan having to confront, whose side am I on? Am I
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
going to defend my sons in the coalition, or
Mhm.
maybe I'm still a Viltrum at heart, So I hope they do give it a little bit more time to breathe aside from, again, like just a panel in the comics.
And Battle Beast answered your question, Doug, about whether it was worthy of his watching, and he said absolutely.
Oh, yes, he did.
Absolutely.
Just so you know, Battle Beast, anytime that word is said or you cash in, well, you're on YouTube, you don't have channel points. We all drink. So please don't abuse that power.
My
But-
God, there's so many absolutely's in it.
But okay. Invincible. Anyone else out in the chat? If you got your Invincible scores, please let us know. We always want to hear what you
Yes,
think of
we
these
wanna hear from
episodes
you.
also. But let's talk The Boys' final season premiere. Kicks off with 15 inches of sheer dynamite. And a year has passed.
Yeah.
Homelander is consolidating his power. Annie, Starlight, infiltrates a Vought shareholder meeting and leaks the Flight 37 video.
Oh, yeah.
Had a little fight with Black Noir. He's
Who isn't speaking this season?
yes.
Yeah, that I did find that odd because even
Yeah.
even the Deep is commenting like, you don't have to be in character. What's good?
Yeah.
Come on, man, you can talk to me. You were talking before.
He was. He was very much talking a lot.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird too.
I wonder if it's
Yep.
going to.
I would note that.
Yes. I just gonna say we'll probably learn why later, and I wonder if it's going to be somewhat of a what a twist.
I think so. I think so.
I've mentioned this previously, and when we were reviewing other seasons of The Boys, but and I look, it's an older comic. It's been out for a while. I don't think this is too much of a spoiler for everybody out there, but in the comics, the original Black Noir is just a direct clone of Homelander. That's all it is. It's when
There
he
you
gets
go.
unmasked, he's a mute Homelander with like a permanent grin, like he looks like he was just given the Joker toxin.
Yeah. And didn't they explain in the comic too that a lot of the horrendous things that Homelander had been seen doing
It was actually
the
Black
clone?
Noir. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and the reason why they had originally invented, or I guess created Black Noir, was to have like that was their kryptonite, so to speak, for Homelander.
Yeah.
In case Homelander ever got out of control, they would stick Black Noir on him.
Yep, that was the
makes me
Batman
wonder if
plans
John-
to take
Yep.
on the rest of the
Yeah.
Justice League.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if like Giancarlo Esposito is going to come back this season at some point
He was in the
and
trailer.
reveal.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So I think your
you go.
thoughts are on track there, young man.
Maybe he has something to do with it.
Yep. But we see
Well, thank
Sister
you, young man.
Sage responding by discrediting the footage, saying it was AI and all this, with the help of
yeah.
Ashley Bennett.
I was waiting for
Timely.
that. I was waiting for that. Because it's so that's one thing The Boys does is it will dip into like what's happening in
Yeah.
current today, and they'll grab that
Very
grab
topical.
that headline. And right now the big thing is you've got my parents, they fall for AI stuff all the time. Like
All
I
the
wish
time.
it didn't happen, but it's
Yeah.
like constantly I've got to tell my mom, no, that's AI, mom. It's not real.
Hopefully she listens to you. But we find out Ashley Bennett is now the vice president of the United States. She's trying to help her, but Homelander comes to talk to Sister Sage, who's getting a little suspicious of all of the accolades she's getting from everybody. She's now loved by the Obamas, the Clintons. Everybody, is giving her things and talking to her. And Homelander is just not as well loved. He's kind of hated. And of course, he can't blame himself. It's not how he acts. It's everyone else's problem.
Just it reminds
Always
me of
somebody
the
else's problem.
Principal Skinner meme.
Yeah. Am I
Is
the
it
problem?
me? No, I'm not the problem. It's the kids.
Yeah. Same thing for Homelander.
Yeah.
Never ever has been able to take accountability for his actions whatsoever.
And the fact that he's not getting complimented and not getting praise, that is his true weakness.
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
he
yeah.
really
Yeah.
is so susceptible to, like, I guess it has to do with the fact that he never really had a normal upbringing. So he like, it's like he needs that. He needs that sort of like adoration from everybody. And when he doesn't get it, he just loses it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
he even
skipping
told-
ahead a little bit, the basically A-Train had the perfect end response to him, you know, to just dig in the knife, which was well done.
Yes.
Yes. Very quotable. Without your powers, what are you, man?
But Homelander comes up with a plan because he wants to get Butcher and he wants to get Starlight and he wants to get all of the boys. So he has Sage leak that they are going to, execute Hughie, Mother's Milk, and Frenchie.
Which are in just the most adorable concentration camp ever.
Freedom Camp!
Right.
I just
Enjoy
need to
camp.
know, can we buy those Freedom Camp shirts for ourselves?
Yeah.
Are they on sale on
Oh,
Amazon?
somebody has to sell them.
I know.
Yeah.
Man.
Somebody's got them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, they're, trapped in this camp. Frenchie is like exchanging drugs and everything else for money or whatever he's doing.
Of course.
He's got a plan going. And we find out that Love Sausage is one of the guards at their freedom camp.
Is that a
Yeah.
different actor?
It was.
I thought so. I was going to say he
Yo.
looks different.
But not Homelander, Butcher gets basically the boys back together. He gets Annie, Kimiko, and say, hey, we got to free him. We know it's a trap, but we got to get a plan. And Annie, hey, I got a guy who can help us. Butcher has a guy who can help it. Annie was talking about A-Train, who says, I can't do it. Nope, not going to be able to do it. Which, I don't know about you, I knew it was BS from the second he was saying it. But, Butcher goes and gets the Worm. Is that his name, the Worm?
Oh, yeah, the guy who...
Yeah, I think so. The screenwriter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so they have him basically dig a tunnel into the camp. We find out that Hughie and them already have a place under the outhouse where
They're making Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, they
I
are.
love it. And oh man, I love how so you've got you already mentioned this, how you've got Frenchie that's like dealing drugs and everything, and then of course Mother's Milk is making toilet liquor.
Yeah. I know when he dropped that mug into the toilet, I'm like, what
No.
And by the way,
Just drank it. I'm like, ooh.
my favorite scene in this entire first episode was when A-Train comes up, and I forget what Kimiko says to him, and he's like, you talk now? And she goes, oh, yeah. And she's like all happy about it. She's not like offended or anything. Like, of course I do. She's like,
No.
oh, yes, I do now.
My God, the mouth on her now.
I'm gonna tit slap you. I'm like, whoa, Kamiko.
Look, I understand that a lot of times when, it's like an English as a second language situation where they tend to learn a lot of curse words first, but wow.
Yeah. She was
like,
around Butcher a lot, so makes sense.
I was just
even
gonna
I'm
say,
just like, maybe tone it down a bit.
she's
which-
with
by
What's
the way,
she to say?
Mother's
Oi,
Milk.
oi, oi, cunt, cunt.
I like that they say that.
I know, it was beautiful. Got a good chuckle out of that.
But they end up, getting in under the tunnel, coming up. Homelander is, of course, waiting there. He has, set his awesome trap for them. But they knew it was coming.
Like they didn't know.
Yeah.
Starlight ends up just pulling all the energy into her, shooting out a bright light, blinding Homelander. So basically, hopefully they can escape.
Yeah. And I like how, like, prior to that, even Homelander is, like, dismissing her power. What is she going to do? Turn her brights on?
Yeah, and she literally does.
Yeah.
She definitely does.
And it worked.
Yep. And she's trying to fly him out. And of course, Hughie, sees that she takes Frenchie first because he's the one who needs to build the thing. That's a calculated choice. They have to take the people who are going to be better in the war. His friend gets shot and killed by Homelander. I shouldn't say shot, lasered and killed by Homelander.
Yeah.
So he's pretty upset. Frenchie and Kimiko are saved, and then she comes back, and then just as Homelander is about to kill Hughie, A-Train shows up, and they, I don't want to say
Quicksilver
rip-off.
moment.
Yes, I was going to say
Yeah.
they give an homage to the Quicksilver scenes
Yeah.
from the X-Men movies, and it was cool. I thought they did a good job, and he ends up saving Hughie, pushing him out of the way of the I-beams at the last minute, and actually taking a hit on his shoulder from it.
The only, I really enjoyed that scene as well. The only problem I had with that was what happened subsequently after when A-Train was trying to get away. It's like all of a sudden Homelander can keep up with him and go just as fast, whereas when they're in the camp, A-Train is so much faster that he can move him out of the way, and everybody else has stopped, even Homelander. So I was like, that math isn't
thought the
mathing.
same exact thing. I'm like, that's odd because what they're showing, like, with Homelander, he shoots these laser beams, and so that would be, I would think the implication is that A-Train is faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. And my only thought there, rationale for the scene afterwards, is that A-Train is just getting tired and he's slowing down.
I also thought
Maybe
that
that was it.
Homelander didn't see him coming. So
And that's why he wasn't moving as quick?
It wasn't like
So he
from
wasn't moving as
Justice
quick.
League where Superman sees the Flash coming. He's just dealing with normal speed people, and he's just focusing
Probably
on
the
that.
best scene
So I was
in
kind of
Justice League.
surprised. But I do think tired a little bit, too, because he did take a shot to the arm.
Yep.
Anyone who is, boxed, wrestled, or anything, you take some injuries, it tends to tire you out a little faster than not being injured. But, yeah, they end up scattering. Mother's Milk kills Love Sausage. Thank you.
Thank goodness.
One of the
I'll have to
best.
see that again.
Yes. And
Which, like, I get that, it's the boys. They're going to do things that are over the top. But, I mean, even if he has an extra long appendage, why would you use it to whip people?
Yeah.
Just an odd choice.
I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys. I think that would hurt really bad.
Yeah.
That's a very
Right?
sensitive area.
Yeah, it would hurt you just as much as somebody else. Yeah. So weird.
He says,
Such a weird situation.
Battle Beast says Homelander has no honor. He certainly
That's
does not.
true.
That is 100%
That's
accurate.
very true, Battle
Beast.
Beast. Battle Beast is on point.
But after that, Homelander chases after A-Train, who's trying to get away,
Yeah.
and ends up, and I thought, a very well-placed callback
Beautifully
to Hughie's
done.
girlfriend. He stops himself from hitting an innocent civilian,
Yep.
which ends him crashing through the forest, hitting trees, and slowing down, which allows Homelander. That shows A-Train's growth very much. I loved it.
Yeah.
And Homelander catches up to him. And like Chris was alluding to earlier, he starts hitting all of Homelander's insecurities. What are you without your powers? You're nothing.
Nothing.
And he's
Laughing while saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's like, I don't
he's
know why I
thinking
was so
back
afraid
to
of you.
how Sister Sage gets all the accolades. The Deep and Black Noir's podcast is like #1 on Spotify. All these things is against him, and was perfectly placed because he is going to start doubting himself, and he's going to start lashing out at people around him. A-Train, I assume, did it on purpose, knowing that was his weakness, and now is his last way to help the boys and help them defeat Homelander. And I was like, a little tear in my eye when he ended up breaking his neck and laying there. I was like, oh,
Me
well
too.
done, A-Train.
Yep.
Especially after he had that discussion with his brother.
Yeah.
His brother told him,
Yeah.
I really didn't think that you had done anything heroic, but then, you came back for me, you saved me, and he says you finally are becoming a hero.
Yeah.
The only thing
And I
we
think
as an
A-Train
audience
realizes
got
that
to-
too.
Yeah, got to see that. I remember like the first hopeful moment I ever had in the boys show was A-Train, in saving his brother. So I was like, I'm right there with you. That made me feel good. And we can't have anything good on this show for long.
No.
They take it away.
And-
So it was only a matter of time for A-Train.
Battle Beast wants to know if the new 7 would be worthy opponents of my strength. Not even close. Battle Beast.
No,
way.
not
Through
even.
him.
Rip through those guys.
No, because Battle Beast, unfortunately, the new 7 are handpicked by Homelander to purposely be weaker than him, so he looks better at the end of the day. So no, none of them are going to be worthy opponents. It will not be a glorious battle. You would tear through all of them, including Homelander. Because this is my opinion. I think Homelander is actually weaker than Omni-Man.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Oh
with
yeah, I would say so.
The only downside to this episode was when A-Train rushed in and then him and Huey were like on the ground together in front of Homelander. He didn't say, "Sup, shitbird."
Right? They should have given him one last sup, shitbirds,
I know.
before his final outing.
We missed it. We missed it. But that leads us into Teenage Kix. Not the band Kix from the 80s who sang Cold Blood. And no, don't worry. Don't leave the stream. I'm not going to sing it. But look up Kix Cold Blood. It's a terrible 80s song. We're not going to wait. Do it after the stream. But Butcher, leads the team back to the laboratory with Dr. Shaw, who he lies about how Victoria Newman dies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of forced to go along with it.
Well, because he was Victoria Newman's husband, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was.
Yeah. The only way they're gonna keep him on their side, making the virus for them, is if he's got something to make it for.
Yep.
Oh, those damn soups! They killed my wife, who definitely wasn't a soup.
Yes. she wasn't the head exploder. Oh, and
Right.
Battleby said,
Not at
"Damn
all.
it." He was hoping for worthy
And
opponents.
my
in the
child definitely doesn't eat people's heads off.
Yes.
No.
But they plan to test the virus on Rock Hard from Teenage Kix,
Yeah.
who is the boys' version of the Thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Okay,
I
yeah.
guess. I guess if we're gonna go with the boys' version of the Thing, can we at least make it the Hanna-Barbera version of the Thing, where it's like
Yes.
a kid who puts a ring on, and
Yes.
let's go with that version.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Homelander decides to awaken Soldier Boy from cryosis. And I love it. He's like, "Oh, the CIA had you, and I just... Why is it in your
It's
room
like,
then?"
Then why is it been in your room?
Whatever.
Yeah. I know.
I think I'll just travel to Marvel for worthy opponents. Yeah, the King in Black,
Ooh,
Sentry,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, now
Thanos.
those would
Yeah.
be some worthy opponents. Oh, yeah. We were actually just
Definitely
talking about Battle
worthy
Beast.
opponents.
We were talking about Captain Marvel, how she basically pulled what Invincible and Oliver did to the Viltrumite ship. So I think she would definitely be a worthy opponent for you. She'd definitely give you a run for your money. I would suggest going after Captain Marvel.
Do it. Let us know. Well, film it. But
Yes.
he Homelander tells Soldier Boy, "Hey, basically find Butcher for me. You're the best tracker out there. You need to find him. I need you to do it, and I'll clear your name because I ain't no stinking commie." I can't remember what he said, but man,
Yeah.
the lines
Yeah.
they give him to say
That
the
got him.
total
He's so
50s era
he's
anti-communism.
such a he really is. He's so much a soldier out of time, even more so.
Right.
They did not give
Yeah.
Captain America time to
No.
get caught up with trying to not say the wrong word or anything. He was just right on board. This guy, oof, boy, he is not acclimating.
And
What is it, the Japs? It's like, oh, no, buddy.
slow down. Honestly, he would probably call them Orientals,
Yeah.
Probably
Oh, yeah.
which I've had to tell
100%.
my in-laws and some other other people. Those are rugs. Those are not people.
That's inappropriate.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
But we find Huey, Butcher, and Kamiko are getting the virus from the lab out to Teenage Kix, and they encounter Soldier Boy, who I didn't write it down, and I'm so mad at myself. What was the name he used to rent the truck? And he said that was the
Oh,
same
shoot,
one.
I didn't write it down either.
It was the same one as when they went out to
Yeah.
Hero-gasm.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't have it written down either, but yeah. Do you think Butcher, do you think Butcher knew about Soldier Boy?
No, I don't think he did.
That
No.
he was out there? I was like,
No, they all thought he was
how
dead,
could he
I
have
think.
known that?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Butcher thought that he was on ice. He didn't realize that Homelander had him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did know he was on ice. But he's
I was
given.
like, was this supposed to be a part of the plan?
He gave the speech to Soldier Boy, which I think may convince him at some point to switch sides, because he's like, "Oh, I bet your boy didn't tell you about we have a virus that kills soups or whatever. That's why he
Yeah.
sent you and didn't come himself."
And
That's why everybody's
that gets
using you.
affirmed later in the episode. So
Yep.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, but he ends up, allying himself with Jetstreak and She-Line, while Frenchie and Hughie are trying to get the room with Rock Hard.
Rock Hard.
We find out he's been
Liquid.
He keeps
shooting
growing
explode.
because he shoots out lava.
Yes,
Which is his special stuff.
Family show.
his baby bag.
Which
which is
also, I like how
all
they're
over the
putting
place.
two and two together. They look at him. They look at what he's got volcanoes on the screen. Like,
I know.
oh.
That's what does it for you, huh? Volcanoes.
Well,
Cool.
I mean, if Oliver can be into lobsters, then I guess the Rock Hard can be into
Weird fetishes in these shows so far for today.
Which also, I love the name Rock Hard. Really,
I know, right? Yep.
kind of on the
Yeah.
nose.
Apparently, what he did to the Lincoln Memorial too, just
Oh, right,
my
I
God.
forgot they said that. Yeah.
Which led into
so wrong.
when we finally meet him and what he's doing. But yes.
which
So-
makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But, Kimiko ends up taking out She-Line. Soldier Boy and Jetstreak basically chase Hughie into the place. They think they get a hold of the virus, but they had already removed it from the vial. Frenchie releases it.
Did you already
Yeah.
bring up what is her name? The Crow or whatever her name was?
The crow with
I
Mother's
didn't even
Milk.
put her in here.
Yeah.
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 I didn't put
Yeah,
her in
so
my
for
notes.
some reason, Mother's Milk goes exploring around the house.
He heard something.
Okay.
That was what made him
And I
go
was-
looking
I was
around.
like,
So
"What's
they'd
he
originally
doing?"
made this plan knowing that the Teenage Kicks would be out of the
Were
house,
out.
or at least
Yeah.
all of them should have been out of the house. And I think he heard her doing her ad break or whatever upstairs, and that's what made him
Yeah.
go investigate. And that's when he realizes, oh, the house isn't empty after all. But
I love that he used the sheet and got all the birds and just threw them in
Right,
the
yeah.
closet. I was like, oh man, that was so perfect.
Oh, and I also love how he's because at his heart he is a father. He really
He is a
does care
father,
about
yep.
his family and kids, and that's his
Perfect
soft
sense.
spot. In fact, we actually
Yeah.
see that going all
Yeah.
the way back to season 1. That when he's a prison guard, he kind of treats the prisoners like kids, and he'll try to work
Yeah.
through issues rather than just be cruel to them. So, he sees this kid in a rough situation. She's sort of
Right.
been indoctrinated into all of this hero stuff, and he's able to not only deduce that clearly the rest of the Teenage Kicks left her behind, because clearly
Yeah.
they don't value her, but she seems to have a lot less crows than she normally would have had. And so then I love when he says, well, aren't you supposed to have like 7 to 8 crows? Did She-Line eat them? Yeah.
And we do see once that, toxin of the virus is released, I mean, Jetstream went down almost right away. Rockhard finally
Yeah.
started breathing again because he was holding his breath because he didn't want
Yep.
to inhale it. He thought they basically tricked him
Thought
into
he was
doing
in the
it.
clear.
He starts bleeding out. Soldier Boy takes a little bit longer, but we do find out
Yeah.
that Mother's Milk did get her out so she could go back to her parents, because she said, all I really want to
Yeah.
do is basically go back to my
Gosh,
parents.
love Mother's Milk. It's my favorite character,
Good dude.
and this is why.
He's been struggling.
Yeah.
He's been self-medicating with the alcohol a little bit, but I think we're
Yeah.
going to see him come back into it now that he's got a mission and he knows what he needs to do. I think he's going to, be the MM we all know and love.
Yeah.
And then we get that weird scene with Ashley Bennett where the back of her head. I always thought every time when she
Her,
was
like,
talking
Smeagol
to herself,
moment.
yeah, or Professor Quigley.
I thought that was the
from
voices
the
in her head or
Philosopher's
something.
Stone. Yeah,
Same.
and we find out, she's got a consciousness, another face on the back of her head under that wig, and I was like, oh boy. But it sounds like her conscious, or the second face, Voldemort face on the back of her head, is trying to turn her against Homelander.
It's the good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely has a lot more courage than regular Ashley for sure.
Yeah.
Which is good.
But that
Hopefully
makes me
it'll-
wonder: can she actually read minds, or is that just what she's telling people?
I thought she could. Because
think she
Sister
can.
Sage did
Yeah.
at one point say, don't even try to read my mind. You can't do it.
Yeah, because she's just so powerful.
But it did seem kind
would
of
blow
fake when
her
she
head up or
was
something.
Yeah.
reading minds in the interview.
Mm-hmm.
with her new
That's
husband.
what I'm thinking. I think maybe I think her actual superpower is like just the other head, and I think in order to hide
wow.
that, I think she might just be telling people that she's a mind
Yeah.
reader.
Yeah, definitely could be.
It'd be funny if like her actual mind reading was just like TV psychic cold reading. All right,
Reveal
so
that one.
I'm hearing I'm hearing a spirit. It starts with a J, a J, a J. Any J's? No. H's, H's. Harold. Yes, Harold. Yeah.
So when you signed up for this reading, I looked you up on social media and found out a bunch of
Right.
stuff about you, and now I'm going.
Yeah.
You have a brother. I do. Oh my God, how did you know that? But
Yep.
you know, we end up after that all goes down. Homelander shows up. The Deep is investigating. Homelander's just so fed up with the Deep. You know, it's one of the reasons
Yeah.
he brought Soldier Boy out because
Pisses his pants.
no one. No, he was just swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
what
know, right?
Which once again, A-Train did a good job of telling Deep when they met up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got in his head a little bit too. I think a lot of
Oh,
what
he
A-Train
totally
did in that
did.
first episode is going to help
Yeah.
for the rest of the season. You know, convincing Deep to turn against Homelander.
Yep.
Homelander's, you know,
Oh.
depression or self-conscious.
Speaking of A-Train, something that we forgot to mention. When he was running away from Homelander, did you guys catch that just as he saw a person standing there, he immediately moved himself, and that's what actually that slowed him
Yeah,
down
we
a
did
bit,
mention
allowing
that.
We
Homelander to
did
catch
mention
up to
that.
him. Oh, we did? Okay.
The
mentioned
call
that.
back to him killing Huey's.
Yeah.
And that was perfect mirroring from the beginning of his story to the
Yes.
end, and it was
Yes.
beautiful.
How much he's grown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Frenchie talking to Kamiko saying, listen, this thing is too deadly. I cannot
Yeah.
find a way to save anybody from it. There's no antidote.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Let's go to a desert island.
So we
Let's
think.
get out of here. And she's like, can't do it. I won't do it.
The
Yeah.
thing that they even mention, they know that it will work on soups, but they're not positive if it'll hurt humans too.
Humans too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of seem okay if that ends up happening. They're like, look,
Yeah.
we understand that this, we don't really have too much time to thoroughly test it out. We don't really have the time or the resources to really do that. And if it does end up hurting humans too, hey, as long as we get rid of the soups, they seem especially willing to do that.
Yep.
Starlight really is okay with it all. Almost like she's ready to just give up, but we end up finding out that that's
Oh,
because
yeah.
she's feeling really guilty about the Starlighters.
Yeah, for all the people that are following her that are dying. So yeah, she's
Yep.
racked with guilt, and you can tell in these first two episodes how much that's weighing on her. And a lot of them are like, yeah, maybe this is our penance for all
Yeah.
the bad that we've had to do to get to this point in time. So a lot of
And
them
you
are just
also-
like, yeah. might
You
be the way
see,
that we have
anytime
to go.
Huey tries to have a serious conversation with her about it,
Yeah.
she tries to ignore it by, why don't we sleep with each other?
Some sexy
That seems
I
like
know,
a
right?
much better choice.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, who's going to say no to that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody. But, we do get at the end of this episode, Soldier Boy sitting up in his body bag.
Oh, of course. Saw it coming.
I
a
mean, I
mile
knew,
away.
I saw that coming. Right, exactly. 'Cause
Yeah.
they focused on him for a little bit too long in the basement.
See, my
And
first,
I'm like, he's
and
not
his
dead.
head didn't explode. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's
my
still
first
alive.
thought was they're conquesting us.
Yeah.
And then he said,
The boy left me alive.
so,
Looks like we got something else in the chat too, by the way.
Oh, Jason Deerham.
we do, yeah. Oh, and Battle Beast killed Captain Marvel too quickly. Disappointing.
Oh, jeez.
You might want to try the Hulk.
Disappointing.
But let's see,
Ooh,
Jason
the Hulk,
Deerham.
yeah.
What do you
That'd be a good
think
one.
is up with Black Noir? I think he's the original one, and he's back for revenge. He has regenerative powers, so I think he killed the replacement, maybe an inside guy for Starlight.
Ooh,
That's an interesting
I hadn't
theory.
considered that.
We did bring up the
Good
fact that
theory.
he wasn't talking, and the Deep
Yeah.
even talked about, why aren't you talking anymore? And he let Starlight win the fight. They had at the start of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did think it was odd that she was able to kind of take him out
Yep.
and win. That would be a nice
That's,
little twist coming up
Yes,
in
it
the
would.
season.
Yeah.
That original Black Noir's back and has win against
Brilliant.
to 7.
Good job, Jason.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a good theory. Oh, and the Battle Beast.
I love
is
this. The
off.
chat's been awesome tonight.
Yeah, the Battle
yeah.
Beast is off fighting the Hulk. We will get an
All right,
update
good
here
job.
shortly, I hope. Anything on Twitch? Nothing on Twitch. But the first thing I started thinking when he sat up, okay, is this virus going to mutate him? I don't know if you guys have read Revelation, the big X-Men event that's just finished in Marvel Comics a few months ago. But Doug Ramsey, Cypher, became the heir of Apocalypse. I'll shorten this up because it's a huge story. And in the future, he ends up creating a X virus gene that mutates all the humans. It kills a lot of people, and it changes some mutants, and it does all this stuff. So I wonder if this virus could be mutating Soldier Boy. Like, if you're strong enough to survive it, he's either going to come out with new abilities, be completely unstable, like be crazy, like... And I think he may be a wild card coming up the rest of the season, that he's just going to be destroying things, and Homelander can't use him anymore, and will have to maybe kill him. Or he's going to gain new powers and figure out, you know what? Butcher was the one that wasn't lying to me. He called me some not so nice names, but he was telling me the truth, and Homelander knew this and used me instead of coming himself, and he may switch sides and go back to honor his original agreement with Butcher.
I think so.
So I have a much dumber theory. So I think what's going to happen is not so much that he's going to be like mutated beyond control or anything like that. I think that because he's such a powerful soup, and he's got like some of the original whatever that's something V, whatever the compound V. Yeah, since he's got like the original strain of Compound V, my guess is that his body is actually going to generate an immunity to the virus, and what Homelander and the rest of them are going to do is to maybe synthesize a vaccine based on Soldier Boy's blood. Then again, this is where the dumb part comes in. Some of the soups are going to be anti-vax.
Oh, now, yep.
And Homelander's going to be like, "No, you idiot! This is you have to take this one.
Oh my gosh!
Government ain't going to tell me what to do."
Oh boy. I could see them doing it. So
the president is going to have to be ordered. Which, by the way, I love that whole dynamic that Homelander orders around the president and makes him do whatever he wants. But like, now he's going to have to tell the president, all right, I'm going to need you to make an announcement that all superpowered beings have to take this vaccine. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'll lose so many points in the polls.
But do you think the virus is going to start spreading? I mean, they were there on the scene. They were kind of putting it down, but I got a feeling we might see minor soups start showing symptoms.
Possibly, but I think they're going to clear the virus off the table pretty quickly in the season, because you had asked before whether it shows up in the comics, and it does not. It's not a part in the comics. Not that the Boys show is following the comics very closely. They are not.
Not even close.
But I think having this ultra powerful virus that can just take out the soups like that, I think that's too easy, too powerful.
yeah.
I think they're going to want to end the series finale with, you know, a big brawl fight between like Butcher and Homelander and whatever. And I think that's how it's probably going to wind up. I think they're going to find some sort of either cure for the virus, or they're going to kill what's her name's husband so he can't create more of the virus. Maybe Frenchie will be injured. He won't be able to make anything. There's going to be something that I think is going to take the actual virus play off the board.
And it could be the you know, creating a vaccine using Soldier Boy's blood. I just wonder if it'll start to mutate out in the open air, and it'll get...
It could. Right. It could.
The season will end with a big fight with Butcher and Homelander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
in my opinion, that's really the only way it could go down.
It's what they've been building.
It has
to.
to
We
be
don't
Butcher
get
and
that.
Homelander.
We march at dawn.
Yeah.
And I did see a video. They had, you know, Carl Urban and Anthony. Can't remember Homelander's real name, but they were talking about it. And
I think you're right, Star.
Yeah, Anthony Starr. Yes, Anthony Starr and Carl Urban talking, and they were talking about we really need to stick to landing. Carl Urban was like, I really think we did, and it's been building towards this all season. So I was like, okay, good, we got confirmation on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was an incredible way to open up the season. One thing that I've been worried about the boys going back to, I think it was the end of season 3, if I'm not mistaken. It seemed like they had wrapped everything up, almost like they didn't think they were going to get renewed or whatever. And it seemed like because they had gotten rid of Stormfront, they had really damaged the reputation of the Seven and of Vought and everything. And it really seemed like, okay, everything is good to go. If it doesn't get renewed, this is a nice ending for everything. And because they really didn't leave a whole lot of cliffhangers either. And so I was worried that they weren't going to give us a whole lot going forward. When they did announce that they were, coming back with another season, I'm like, yeah, but is it going to be as good? And so far, yeah. I mean, last season was pretty darn good. There's a lot of good episodes, and this season just opening up right off the bat with really funny and good and heartful episodes. I mean, my gosh, just
true.
Some of the stuff that we saw, great start.
Just so you know, Battle Beast killed the Hulk. He reminded me of Monster Girl, but the battle was glorious. I want more.
Oh, poor
But
Hulk.
we also got the
no.
Red Hulk, Abomination.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I
let's
feel
get
like
to
Red
it.
Hulk would be easier to beat.
He probably would be, yeah.
He's less stable.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe fight Wonder Man.
Burn off
He's
some
one
fur,
of the
though.
most powerful, yes.
Oh, what about Vision?
Oh, Vision would be good, too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys think, after that whole little scene with Homelander and Sage, where he's like, well, everyone seems to love you. You're keeping all these trophies from all your buddies. Do you think Sage has a backup plan to try to take out Homelander? Like, she's using him?
Guaranteed. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
She's the smartest person in the world. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's not just eating Taco Bell. Like, she's got some plan figured out.
I love that she loves Taco Bell. I know it's Taco
Yeah,
Bell
same.
putting a thing in there, but her like, I just wanted
Yeah.
to eat this Mexi Melt and enjoy
Mhm.
it.
Now,
They
do you
pro-
think she still? Do you think she still, stabs herself in the brain before she eats the Taco Bell, or does she just enjoy it regardless?
I think she enjoys it regardless now. She's
It's
like
Taco Bell.
giving it,
She enjoys it regardless. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
but-
out, my daughter loves Taco Bell. Like, can't get enough. So,
Yes, Sully
like,
and
"Aw,
Tessie
good
both
deal."
love Taco Bell too. That's
yeah, we got good kids.
yep. Yes, we do. But I'm trying to figure out what her angle is, what she's going to try to do, or if it'll be
Right.
like
Yeah.
her contingent plan is when Homelander falls, which we assume will happen at the end of the season. Like she has her own little plan, and we may get more
Yeah.
stuff in the boys' universe, and that's why I think too the virus is never going to wipe out all the soups, because then they can't do spin-off shows, they can't do Gen V's type stuff, they can't do cartoons. We know we're getting. Oh, Jason Deerham just told Battle Beast, who was going to go find and fight Doom, fight the Thunderbolts. They'll hug you to a glorious death.
Hug you to death.
Now that is the Thunderbolts from the MCU. The Thunderbolts from the comics was Baron Zemo and Atlas and Songbird.
Yeah,
and
they're
a bunch of
a
villains.
little different. Yeah.
Just a little bit. And I can't wait to see too the rest of the season. Homelander just losing control, just doubting himself.
Oh, yes.
Going.
Did you hear they were playing that little musical sting, just a little piece of it,
Yeah.
every time he was having like a minor Homelander breakdown, whenever he was sensing that he wasn't in control of things. They would have that little squeaky violin music start to play a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
And I think Soldier Boy, if he has any, if he is still stable a little bit, he's going to be like, listen, you lied to me about the CIA holding me. You lied about the virus. I can't trust you. I think we're going to see those two break off. He won't be like a Butcher's buddy, but they did a good job of setting up Homelander to be untrustable.
I
love-
like when he does unfreeze him, the first thing out of Soldier Boy. Did you have sex with me?
Was this some sort of an incest thing?
Right.
Like, no.
No, man, no.
I like when he's talking to Butcher too, and he's like, we had a plan, and you did it for that little sick kid or whatever. He goes, that's your grandson.
That's your grandson. Yeah.
he he really is like just the opposite of Captain America in every
Yeah,
way.
in
He
every
is
way.
how if someone was revived from that time after being under ice all those years would truly
Right?
act.
Yes, yes.
Sad but true.
And also just to really hammer the point home, when he goes to get his shield, it breaks in half.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like figures.
Yeah.
But yeah, between everything that's going on, A-Train's death and what he did to him, Soldier Boy's revival and almost death at the Thing, Annie's leak of the flight footage, the virus, and then Sage's manipulation. We may see an absolute paranoid, violent outburst. It's to be the Homelander that we love, know, and love.
Love.
Yes, I use that term very loosely.
Stretch for the word. Yeah.
But do you think we'll see Ryan again this season? Do you think he will end up coming for the final battle?
I don't know. How old is he now?
Well, it's been a
Oh,
year.
Like the actual actor.
Has
I
he
wonder.
aged out of the role?
That's what I'm wondering.
He might
Good
have.
point.
Because I mean, he's a kid. Kids grow quick. Not that you two know anything about that.
Yeah, no, never.
No.
I haven't seen anything on it. But I just wonder if the final straw for Homelander just completely losing all sanity is Ryan siding with Butcher.
I can see
Oh.
that. I think he would.
Yeah.
It would make sense to have him make some kind of appearance, at least by the end of the season. I think we're also going to need to catch up with the Gen V kids too.
Yeah, well, they did talk about them too in one of the episodes. So yeah, we're definitely going to see them. But an update from Battle Beast: the weaklings of the Thunderbolts are gone. I killed Sentry and Doom. I almost gave into a worthy death, but I am Battle Beast.
That's right, Battle Beast. You've got to stick around so you can
Outstanding.
fight the Grand Regent.
Or
No glorious death for you
Right.
yet.
jump over to DC and maybe take on Superman, Darkseid,
Take the
Oh.
suits.
the new gods.
You know what? Do you think
would be a
Battle
glorious
Beast
battle.
would stand a chance against Dr. Manhattan?
No, he would not.
Oh.
Or
yeah.
better.
Sorry, Battle Beast.
Battle Beast, give Batman 3 days to plan and see
There
if he
you
can
go.
beat him.
Just enough prep time for Batman.
All right. Well, should we rate this 2-episode premiere of The Boys?
Let's do it.
I think we should. Chris, would you like to start this time?
Sure, thank you.
Before you go,
I,
the Battle Beast said that's a bet.
that's a bet. Taking on everybody. Yeah, I thought this was a solid opening first 2 episodes. And are we getting 2 episodes each week, or is this
No,
just for
it's
the
one
opening?
after this.
Okay, that's good. I works much better for my schedule.
Me
Having
too.
one.
Looking at 2.
Fitting in 2 hours of Boys can be a little difficult when there's so much great material. But I gotta say, even having so much good stuff on this week, this one stacks up pretty well to all the other shows. And like you said, Doug, a good point. There was an emotions in this episode. There were some very good character beats. There was a lot of good humor. And of course, with the Boys, you're always going to get the grotesque and stuff that, you're going to want to avoid eating any meal when you're watching these shows.
Yeah.
At all times. They always have it in these. But overall, I enjoyed the ride. I very much, felt very emotional about A-Train's storyline and him coming to a close. But I thought they handled it beautifully. I thought that his impact is going to be felt throughout this season moving forward, which is great. He sets it all up. I wonder what's going to happen to his brother and his family, if we'll meet up with them at some point. Hopefully not. Hopefully they're nice and safe and out of the way. But yeah, I thought that it was a great opening for this. So are we rating these together?
Yeah, let's do them together.
As kind of one rating? Yeah. Okay. So for this opening 2 episodes, I'm going to say a solid 8 out of 10 for me. So
Excellent. Yeah, I think they did a really good job in both of these episodes of building up of we've seen in the last 4 seasons. I mean, you get a down, starlight of what's happened with the Starlighters and everything that's happened. You have a Butcher that is thinking, I don't care what happens to everybody. We've got to stop this. You know, you see Mother's Milk struggling. You see Frenchie clean and sober and doing pretty good, which is odd and where they're at. You see Hughie trying to remain positive because he knows that's what you need. And then when you see, you know, A-Train basically sacrifice himself, you started the boys with seeing him kill Hughie's girlfriend and not care about it all. And where his story ended in this, coming to save them, saving the girl while he's running away, it was just a perfect character arc for a character. You start hating him, and you gradually gain a little respect for him, and then he does this and dies a hero. And that was great. And then, you know, you get the Teenage Kix episode, which, oh my God, it's just typical boys. You have their take on certain other heroes from other things that are just like the worst. Rock Hard to me was just like when they were like, he never leaves the house anymore after what happened to the Lincoln Memorial. I'm like, it can't be that bad. Then when you see him, and because he's grown so big,
It's
because
that
of
bad.
how it's that bad. But you still see, you know, you get great dialogue. You know, Soldier Boy confronting Butcher, and him saying, you know, Homelander sent you because we have a virus. I bet he didn't tell you. And that's why he sent you and didn't come himself. And, you know, he's like, oh, you're a soup now. You're one of us. And you just get that nice banter from, you know, characters that have a history with all this. And you see, it's not just the boys all, hey, shucks, we're all in this together. You see fractures within the boys. You see Hughie worrying about Starlighter because of where she is at this point. You see everyone worried about Butcher because who knows what that wild man is going to do.
Yeah.
And
what a loose cannon. Did he kill his dad too, by the way?
No, I don't think he did.
No.
It kind of looked like that's what he was doing.
I thought that's what he was doing, and he has this statue from his brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it shows it later on.
Because when he was having that conversation with his dad is trying to convince him, "Hey, man, the cancer is going to take me. If you just let it go, like a couple of weeks, I don't have much longer left."
Yeah, maybe he did. I thought he was going to let him suffer through the rest of it, like not give him a quick death. But that's a good question.
Yeah.
Guess I'll have to watch it again. Darn.
I know, right?
You know, and even bringing in, you know, Teenage Kix, who was from the comics, but we haven't seen much of that. Bring those heroes in for a little bit. We see what's going on with Homelander and all the stuff not ganging up against him, but seeing all this things stacking up against him and how he's dealing with it because he was raised in a lab. Just have done a great job of writing these characters and making you invested and enjoy and laugh. They do a great job. So I'm with Chris. I'm giving these first 2 episodes an 8 out of 10. Really great way to kick off their final season.
I mean, I agree with the two of you. This was a fantastic way to, I know I basically already started that. I didn't mean to earlier, kind of already going into my rating. It was just, this was a great start to the season. I was impressed. I didn't think that, because The Boys does kind of have a habit of starting off a little bit slow, and it takes usually a little bit to kind of get into things to pick up where they left off. But this, it was like right off the bat. Now, I will say that, the emotion that they put into the end of last season, where we saw Hughie, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk getting arrested by the Gen V kids that were at the time working for the Boys, seeing that happen, I thought that this season was going to start off a bit darker than Happy Land Freedom Camp, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Yeah. I do not know a nicer way to say this, but for a concentration camp, it looked like the nicer choice. Like, it didn't seem that bad.
Well, you know they have to make
other than being beat half
everything.
to death with an appendage.
Exactly.
That's not shown on the videos of
Right. So, but yeah, I like how they're showing that there has been a passage of time, which again, it does make sense, especially if you watched Gen V, so you do know that some changes have been made. And if you you have watched Gen V and you want to hear what a couple of nerds had to say about it, you can go to Not Your Status Quo, and we did a whole bunch of streams all about Gen V, so definitely check that out. But yeah, I like how what Keith said is true. There are some fractures in place among, who's left of the boys. You've got Butcher, who is still very much on track to try and get this virus made, and he is lying to everybody about what really went down in order to make sure that he's got people on his side to make this happen. And he is very much hardcore, we got to destroy all soups. He's kind of like, if we're going to compare this at all, with Invincible, he's very much like, he would be, if he had the Scourge virus, he would use it. He would use it without wouldn't even think about, no, we're going to go to war, we can beat them. No, if he had, because that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to create this virus because he's going to do whatever it takes. This isn't a last resort. And even when they warn him and say it could affect humans too, he seems okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's lost so much of his humanity, and
he really has.
Car ride with Hugh, he's like, is any part of you human left? And he just kind of looks at him.
Well, he even tells Soldier Boy, you become what you hate so you can destroy him or whatever. So he knows that he's doing it, and he thinks it's the only way to handle this.
Exactly. And I am kind of, first off, the character of Soldier Boy, I have never really liked him. I do like his mannerisms. I think they're hilarious. But objectively, I don't like the character because he's just so unlikable. And I know that's on purpose, but he reminds me of too many of my family members, if that makes sense.
Oh, no. Oh, Doug, I'm so sorry.
And I'm just like, oh, God, yeah, I've got an aunt that talks like you. All right, dude.
Well, chosen family can be family too, so you got family here.
That is right.
You know?
But
you don't have to have a bunch of soldier boys as family.
The emotion in these episodes, I was really, truly surprised that they killed off A-Train that quick. I did not expect it to happen in the first episode. I really thought that we would at least get to see him, interacting with the boys, turning, especially because he had that wonderful talk with his brother. Honestly, that really should have been that should have let me in on the secret that he wasn't going to be around much longer, because it's very similar to, like the police chief. I'm just 3 days from retirement.
3 days. I got my watch.
Right.
Well, like you, when I saw that scene, I was like, okay, A-Train is going to go out heroically at some point. I did not expect it the first episode.
I didn't either.
Same.
I did not expect that to happen, but I like the way that he went out. If they were going to kill him off, they gave him a proper send-off. And I like the fact that he was able to smile and laugh through blood while, reminding Homelander, you're nothing. You would be, if you didn't have your powers, you would be nothing. And you're so weak even with your powers. I mean, that was so powerful. That was the best thing that A-Train could have done. So that was worthy emotion. I mean, I think they did fantastic in that. And the fact that we're also seeing, we're seeing Starlight not dealing with her guilt very well. She's been, she was kind of on top of things in the last season, the beginning of last season.
Are you
but
talking
then
about her scene with Hughie? She's on top of things.
Oh yeah, well yeah, she was also on top of things. Okay, Dave.
He's not here. We got to fill in for him.
Family show.
But she started off last season basically, leading this revolution and starting getting these Starlighters on board, and she was seen as like a revolutionary hero and everything, and all this huge protests happening, and she was doing good. But now, all she's hearing, she's getting reports of, well, another Starlighter group just got taken out. Well, there's, that's 3 this week, and 3 entire groups, and we're running out of safe houses, and, we're losing momentum because people are afraid to join the Starlighters. And it doesn't help that Homelander is cracking down on it to the point where it's not just people who have said, I'm a Starlighter. Now it's anybody who posted anything remotely mean on social media about Homelander. And even, and they're trying to warn him and say, hey, freedom of speech still exists. This might not be a good idea. But, he will not listen to reason. The fact that he's got the president under his thumb, and the fact that the vice president is a plant. I mean, it really is the perfect trajectory of what a personality like Homelander would be like. It is very much expected. And I think they're doing great so far. This is a great start to these episodes. They had a lot of great humor, even some of the gross out humor I could still chuckle at. But yeah, I, I liked the new Teenage Kicks. I also liked, again, like I had mentioned, I loved Mother's Milk still showing his character growth and showing that he still cares about the kids and he's willing to, overlook. Look, I know that you remember the Teenage Kicks. I get that you are a soup and any other day you would be against us, but I also understand. He's able to see the entire spectrum, unlike Butcher. To Butcher, it's either you're a soup or you're not.
Yeah, she's just a scared kid.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what Mother's Milk sees.
I think that'll pay dividends down the road too. So I think that.
Oh
was
yeah.
an
She might
excellent
end up
choice.
joining them too.
Yeah, yeah. Get a lot more people on board with them.
And then the way that it ended, not to being a Conquest fake out, actually having Soldier Boy set up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know what this is going to mean. I'm not sure, how this is going to play out. But now, oh man, I cannot wait for this next episode because, this is going to be
Same.
fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So what's your rating, Doug? I didn't hear your rating.
Oh yeah, I guess that would help. I'm going to also give this an 8 out of 10 for these first 2 episodes. It was so good.
Nice.
It was really good.
It was.
This whole week
Agreed.
was filled with fantastic episodes. I don't
Oh
think
my
we'll ever get a
goodness.
week like this again. But I just want to update you guys.
No.
Battle Beast, he beat Batman with Prep, and he beat Dr. Manhattan. He also killed
my gosh.
Darkseid and Superman.
In quick succession.
Huh.
Yes, that's pretty quick. What about
Yeah.
maybe Darth Vader, the Emperor?
I mean, yeah,
Darth
we're
Maul?
running out of superpowered
Running out
guys
of
for you to
people,
take
yeah.
out, man.
I mean, I didn't doubt your power, but you're surpassing all of our expectations.
I
Right?
know, right? Please just take on Thragg and
Hey,
we can end the Viltrumite War.
Maybe take a weekend though. Like just relax.
Take a break, get a couple chili dogs, enjoy yourself.
This is how I relax.
And once again, out in the chat, if you guys would like to give us your rating for The Boys
Yes.
final season
Please.
premiere, let us know 1 to 10
Please.
on the Doug scale, 5 being average. But now, fellow nerds, we've got some news and rumors from all around the nerdverse. I gotta think of a better word
really?
for that. Yes.
Yeah.
This first one I saw, and I don't like it. I don't think it's true, but I want to discuss it with you, fine gentlemen.
All right.
It's been going around that Spider-Man Brand New Day takes place after Avengers Doomsday.
But it comes out before.
Yes, I can't
Avengers
wrap my
Doomsday.
head around why
I can't either.
the Hulk would be just chilling in New York City at a college, and why
Yeah.
like people are starting to say it's Battle World, and I'm like, this isn't Battle World. There's not
No.
a chance.
way.
I don't buy that.
I don't either. I think
Same.
that is.
I mean,
That's
the
clickbait.
thing is, when it comes to like a lot of these timeline rumors, they're usually wrong. Do you remember back when Shang-Chi came out and the internet was convinced that that movie took place during the blip?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To the point where like even we were like, oh, maybe it is. They seem pretty convincing.
And now this next one, Brie Larson will reportedly be returning as Captain Marvel in Avengers Doomsday.
I mean, I would hope so.
Okay, yeah.
She's one of the strongest heroes out
Makes
there.
sense.
So
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of silly to not. I mean, I get that. Here's the thing. Okay, I understand that there are a lot of if you want to call them fans out there that do not like her character, don't like her as a person. The actor Brie Larson, they don't seem to. They seem to. And okay, granted, all of her appearances haven't been the best, sure, but she is still a decent character, and she was probably one of the best when it came to Endgame. I mean, battle wise, power wise. So it would be silly to not include her.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
She's been getting some love online lately because
Oh, yeah?
of her character in Super Mario Galaxy. she's a gamer, and it shows in all the interviews when she's talking about Rosalind, the character she's playing, and all this stuff. And like she was doing somewhere, she was playing Mario Kart with like Chris Pratt and all them, and she was like getting annoyed when they were trying to ask her questions while they were racing. So people were like, "She's a true gamer. We love her."
She was taking the game too seriously.
Yeah.
So I was happy
to answer your question, Jason, you said, but Battle Beast just killed her. Please keep in mind that this is the multiverse, and as far as I can tell, Battle Beast went and he might have taken out some other universe's version.
The 828s.
Yes.
But thank you for reminding us that, unfortunately, there is one less Captain Marvel out in the grand multiverse.
Out there.
That's right.
Okay, this next one, we're going to take with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Avengers Doomsday had an early screening for Marvel Studios staff.
Okay.
The reaction was overwhelmingly positive, and it is said to be Infinity War level good.
Okay, my employers say that this
Right,
movie
exactly.
is good. Yeah, it is good. Do I get my
Remind
paycheck
me,
now?
what did James Gunn say about the Flash?
He said it was the greatest superhero movie ever made.
Yeah.
Does he work for
So maybe we
MC?
don't trust the employees of the studio?
And it was funny too because in the article they said it was the pre-cut before some of the reshoots took place.
Oh
So it's
God! So they
already
made it
Infinity
somehow
War
work.
level, but they did reshoots too. I don't know.
Okay.
That's I was the same way. Whenever you read, "Oh, Marvel Studios staff watched it and they said it was the greatest thing ever." Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then we're also being told that Chris Pratt will make his MCU return in Secret Wars. And I do believe that the Guardians, who will probably not be in Doomsday, will come back for Secret Wars, which makes sense. It's on a grander scale, Battle World, and all that fun stuff.
And Keith already knows what I'm going to say at this point. Sure, why not? What is one more character in this already bloated movie of literally every character who could ever exist?
You see the poster behind Keith, the Marvel one? Yeah, that's pretty much it right now.
There's the cast.
They're missing a few.
There's the cast. And they're probably missing a few in that picture.
We still need the entire cast of She-Hulk as well to show up.
Ugh.
Battle Beast asks, "Could my comic book self be able to give me a worthy battle?" Yes.
You know, I don't know. I actually, this is my opinion. I think the show version of Battle Beast is actually stronger than the comic version.
You'd still give him a good battle, though, but would lose.
True.
All right. And last Friday, we talked about some possible actors rumored for X-Men roles for the next. We have another one. And the other two we heard were kind of lesser known. And at first I kind of poo-pooed this off because she's a popular actress. But I could see a studio thinking, we need to get a big name in this, and we can fill out the rest of the roster with lesser known quality actors. But Sydney Sweeney is rumored to be on Marvel's radar for Emma Frost.
Sure.
Yeah. You know what? They might want to get somebody who has box office draw to make sure.
Yeah. Okay, but does Sydney Sweeney have box office draw?
Well, what they do in Hollywood is if your movie makes money, and that one with Glenn, what's his name, made a huge box office, and The Handmaid's
I forgot she was in that.
Made a bunch of money, so they do think that she is willing
What
to
about
pull
Madam
this in.
Web? Of course.
The greatest.
I was getting ready to say,
ever.
even Sydney Sweeney couldn't say Madam Web.
What are you talking? It was amazing.
And she wasn't the main character.
It was.
either.
It was the #1 comedy.
If she was the main character, it would have made a lot more money.
Yeah. Possibly. I don't know. I still think that the way that they finally edited as is, I mean, laughs a minute. It's perfect.
We did laugh quite a bit when we were at our theater review of that. That was pretty amazing. And speaking of Sony movies, those of you out in the know, CinemaCon is happening this week.
Yes.
And
Ah.
the Sony panel is tomorrow. And
Okay.
they're saying we're going to get some brand new day stuff. Some Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse are both expected to be showcased. So hopefully we get maybe some footage of Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's been so long in the making. Can't wait for that. But like I said, Monday is Sony. Tuesday is Warner Brothers with DC. Wednesday is Universal and MGM Amazon. And Thursday is Paramount and Disney. Now, most of CinemaCon is about the actual theater industry and all this stuff, but they do have upcoming things coming out. And like we talked about Friday, there was supposed to be an Avengers Doomsday trailer played exclusively for CinemaCon. Will not be released to the general public.
Do you know if it did actually get played, though?
Well, it's not till Thursday.
Not yet.
Oh, I
So,
thought you meant it was...
This coming week.
Yes, it's coming.
Okay, I see. All right.
Oh, and Battlebee said, I will return in Avengers Doomsday. I just talked to Kirkman and Kevin Feige. Cannot wait for that.
You know what? What's one more character, right?
He will be
Yeah.
the MVP of Doomsday.
Yeah, sure. Throw him in there.
And then
The
finally,
Beyonder is going to show up. Well, I was going to make this a grand battle of good versus evil, but Battlebeast just kind of took out everybody, so we're done.
he's the winner. Ishlag and Battle World.
Yeah.
then-
Well, Beyonder, did you learn anything? No, not really.
Well, remember, Beyonder says, destroy your enemies, and I'll basically grant you whatever you want. So Battle Beast, I would assume,
Oh.
will
He would want a
an
worthy
endless
opponent.
supply of worthy opponents. Yes.
Maybe that's how
Yeah.
the Marvel Universe gets rebooted into stronger characters for Battle Beast to fight.
And then our last little tidbit. The Owl is rumored to show up in a Marvel television show or Marvel animation show. For those of you who are not familiar with the Owl, he's kind of a Daredevil Spider-Man villain. He has,
Okay.
weird hair. He has little claws that he uses, not as long as Wolverine's, but little claws that he attaches. And he's basically kind of a criminal, much like Kingpin. So I could see him, if something does happen to the Kingpin at the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, we may have a gang-type war. And the Owl may be trying to take some of that territory from everybody. And that'd be cool. He's a cool villain.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some gang wars, and if you guys I'm sure you guys have seen it, and our audience out there, the Punisher trailer kind of shows a little bit of that chaos of possible gangs coming up to try to take over some sort of power vacuum.
Yeah, which
Yep.
is weird that it's coming out a week after Born Again Season 2 ends.
Mm-hmm.
A power vacuum, you say?
Wonder what's going on there. We shall see, and we'll discuss it here on Natural Status Quo.
Oh, yeah.
You're darn tootin'. And before we raid somebody, I just want to say Happy Mall Shadow Lord Eve to everybody. I don't know about you. I am fired up to watch the 2 episodes tomorrow.
At midnight. Yeah, they come out at midnight.
Wait, midnight your time? Is it
Yeah.
3 a.m.? Oh, wow. For a while there,
So maybe,
with,
it's 3 a.m. your
with
time.
like Clone Wars and Bad Batch and Mandalorian when they were
Yeah.
coming out at 3 a.m. too, I was getting up before work and watching them so they wouldn't be spoiled for me.
Same.
Yeah.
Should I do that tomorrow?
Hmm.
We'll have to see. But that's all the news and rumors from around the globe. Should we find somebody to raid, gentlemen?
I think we should.
And you know what? I want to thank Battle Beast in the chat, Jason Deerham. I want to thank
yeah.
Fatherly Fandom for joining us yet again. Always adds so much to our streams. Say hey to Dave out in the world tonight. Writing that super crossover that we'll be getting in 2029 to lead us into the 2030s, I suppose. But good times.
Yeah. Well, while you guys are looking at that list, trying to figure out who we want to raid, there was something that I meant to bring up while we were still talking about Invincible, and it kind of slipped my mind. Keith, you had mentioned that you are reading through some of the comics. Now, let's say that somebody else is kind of new to the story of Invincible and also wanted to be able to maybe compare the comics to the show. Is there any place that they could maybe see a fellow nerd going through the comics, talking about them?
Oh, 100%. We have been, one of the staples of Not Your Status Quo is our back issue breakdowns. And we have done the first 8 issues of Invincible, which are shorts on our channel. Check out, I sent our YouTube link in the Twitch thing. Check it out. Love them. There's like 129 back issue breakdowns, and more coming as fast as I can put them out.
So we're getting more Invincible, right?
Not next. We're getting some. We already have Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, done. And I'm going to be working on just the Darth Maul prequel series.
Shadow of Maul? Yeah.
Well, the Shadow of Maul once for all out.
Shadow of Maul's the new one, the prequel.
Yeah, no, that's why when they're all out, I'll do it.
Ah, okay.
Because right now, plus I get them off Marvel,
I know.
Marvel Unlimited, so I can get screenshots.
Unlimited. It takes a while.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's a couple months behind, or 6 weeks behind, or something.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got
Marvel, don't sue us.
That's right. Please, we're hyping you guys. We're your hype.
Yeah.
We're your hype men.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I see Laura Dreaming on. Is she allowing raids? I forget.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Okay.
I will allow it.
And we have Granny Vats, who's playing Skyrim.
Oh yeah. Huh, look
Bubble.
at that. She was one of the ones. Granny Vest is one of the ones that didn't like Fallout.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but let's see. Bubble's on. Who was it that wasn't letting us raid last time? A-Tray, I think it was.
It was A-Tray, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you guys think?
I'm down for Laura Dreaming.
All right. Yeah. I'll go ahead and hang out with Laura Dream. And for those of you wondering what we're talking about, this is just a little something that we like to do over on Twitch. It's called raiding. It allows us to take all of you lovely viewers that are hanging out with us on Twitch and kind of keep the party going and go check out another channel, another fellow nerd playing a game or talking about, a cool TV show or something. But obviously, we're not forgetting about our wonderful viewers over on YouTube. We had some great comments in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
We love to see it. Please don't forget to join us. We're going to be back on Thursday, and we're going to be talking more awesome shows. We've got so much stuff to talk about, so definitely come hang out with us on Thursday. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and don't forget our friend here, Chris. Chris, where can they find you?
Also, you can find me at Fatherly Fandom. I got a lot of good content coming out, covering all the breakdowns for Maul and Daredevil, and doing lots of fun character beats as well as insights for all things nerdy. So you can check that out and subscribe there.
That's awesome. I'm going to go watch some Fatherly Fandom videos right after this.
Yeah.
But first, I just want to remind you all, we want to hear from you. So, get in those comments down below. And of course, we'll see you next time right here at Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.